Hey guys, welcome to Mr. Smith's Kitchen. Brian, as always, kitchen. And tonight I thought we'd cook some dinner together. I'm going to cook dinner, as always. And I thought, why not ask some friends to come over and cook with me? That way we can, talk about things or whatever. Either way, just hang out, have a good time, maybe have a good meal afterwards. Tonight we're going to do butter chicken. And if you've been following me for a while, you know I've already done butter chicken once, but this time around we're going to do it in a crock pot. I know I do an awful lot of crock pot meals, especially as of late, but there's just always so much going on. Today I officially start the beginnings of the remodel in the basement, getting things rearranged because it's going to be kind of crazy, and you'll see pictures of it on Facebook. Whether it's on my Facebook page or the group's page, we'll be sharing some of it on the videos as we go along. But I got to get basically everything out of the laundry room has to go into the grocery store, neat and organized, and then I'm taking out that wall that divides the laundry room from the living room, or what will be the living room, so I can start building the kitchen downstairs. We're gonna put walls in. I'm gonna run electrical, some plumbing. And then we'll go look for some cabinets, try to find some cabinets and a stove and all that good stuff. But I want to get it started now, so hopefully we can get a majority of all that done, including the living room done, by spring. A majority of it, not all of it, but a majority of it. And then that way, by the time spring hits, we can go jump outside and start planting the gardens. Doing some work on the garage, getting some things accomplished out there that we want to get done. That way we can do, because we're going to build a kind of an outdoor kitchen off the side of the garage. So that way we can cook outside. We can utilize a grill. We can just cook outdoors when it's nice out. It'll be fun. But that's our first two projects, is to get the basement done and the outside done. And then the kitchen I'm standing in now, we're actually going to expand this wall that's to my left, your right, I think, and we're going to make that a formal kitchen along with a formal sitting room upstairs, and then we'll have our living area downstairs with bedrooms as followed up here and upstairs. Anyhow, enough of that. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If this is your first video, and I'm glad you stopped by. I hope you get something out of this video. If so, check out some of my other videos. We do all kinds of stuff around here, mostly baking and cooking, but I sprinkle in some other stuff when I can. And if you're returning, thank you. If you're a new subscriber, awesome. Thank you very much. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share. All that stuff gets us put out into YouTube's algorithm and helps our neighborhood grow. If you are new, we're essentially a neighborhood where we promote being a good neighbor through food and sharing knowledge and being nice to one another. Comments always welcome. Just be nice, be polite. It's okay to disagree, but be polite. And I think that's it. Like, subscribe, share, notification bell, comments, Facebook page. I think I mentioned that a second ago. It's we have a group page. It's Mr. Smith's Kitchen Facebook group. No questions to answer. Anybody can join. Only requirement we ask of you is you be nice. We do all kinds of things on there. Share recipes. If you have questions, comments, concerns, you can throw them there too. But anyhow, that being said, slow cooker butter chicken. It's an Indian dish. And I am going to do my best to give you grams and cups, teaspoons, tablespoons, but I won't lay odds on that. I'm still struggling with the grams thing when it comes to cooking. But anyhow, let's get down to the counter and get started. So, see you in a second. Okay, we are down here at the countertop. Things you will need to make this with are as follows. As far as equipment goes, you'll need a crock pot, slow cooker, whisk, and scale you don't necessarily need, but I have it because I was trying to figure out what my grams and milliliters were. And that's really it as far as equipment needed. Other than maybe a knife to cut prep with and a cutting board, unless you use your countertop, which I don't recommend. All right, so first things we need to do is in our slow cooker, we're going to put 3/4 cup of chicken stock. It's 175 milliliters. All right, and we'll just pour that in there. And we need 6 ounces of tomato paste. Let me get a spatula to take that out with. Oh. 6 ounces of tomato paste. And we will need two tablespoons, or 35 milliliters, 2 tablespoons, 35 milliliters of lemon juice. Put that in there. We will need some garlic, and your garlic should be minced up. I just run mine through with garlic press. I'm a little lazy like that. And our garlic is about 14 grams, 4 cloves worth of garlic. And that's going to vary on the size of your cloves. And I would use a larger clove. That's what I used at any rate, was 4 large cloves of garlic. The original recipe did not specify, which I don't remember, as always, where I got the original recipe from, other than online, but I'll put it like right here somewhere on the on the screen. That way you know. You should always give credit to those that you take the recipe from. But the beauty of this recipe is you can change it, suit your needs, more or less, add, take away, things like that. Butter chicken has about 100 different variations to it. It was believed to be started by a chef who had some leftover, I cannot remember the name of the type of chicken curry, and he wanted to do something with it, so butter chicken was created, which I think is pretty cool. So after we get our 4 cloves of garlic in there, we want about 2 teaspoons, 15 grams of grated ginger. All right, and I just used my microplane, which is it's still dirty, but this thing right here, and I took the skin off of the ginger, and then I just ran it across that, and I grated my ginger up. And you want to do that so that way you get that you get all those juices going in there. You will find in a lot of Indian style cooking, Asian style cooking, ginger is very prominent. Ginger and garlic both are like the 2 keys to success with most of these dishes. We need to put some cinnamon in there, which is 2 teaspoons, 4 grams of cinnamon. And it's just ground cinnamon. And there's like 3 or 4 different kinds of cinnamon. I personally use Vietnamese cinnamon. We're also going to add 1 teaspoon, 4 grams of salt. I use kosher salt. You can use table salt, iodized salt, whatever salt you have available. And we'll put that in there. And then a good majority of our stuff goes in here in this round. We got our salt in there. We need some cumin, which is right here. And it's just, cumin powder, like you would buy for anything else. If you make a lot of Mexican style dishes, definitely you definitely have some. It's 2 teaspoons or 6 grams of cumin. Put that in there, and we're gonna put some turmeric in there, or turmeric, depending on who you are, and that's 1 teaspoon, about 5 grams. Now all my stuff probably weighs a little heavy because I did not, although the measurements are right as far as grams go, per teaspoon, tablespoon, whatever, but mine are probably like a heaping teaspoon. And then the last thing we're going to need to put into this is garam masala. Now this is a spice mix. It's an Indian style spice mix. And I could not tell you what is in this, but I know it is packed full of flavor. It is absolutely amazing. And you will need 2 teaspoons, 8 grams of that. All right. And garam masala is the one thing you can pick up at any grocery store as far as Indian spices go. Well, I mean, you can pick up turmeric too. But there are some things we've cooked with in the past that, like the coconut vinegar, those are a bit harder to find. Okay, so now we're just going to take this and we're just going to stir this all together until it's well combined. All right, looks like we got that pretty well combined. So there are just a handful of things left we have to add to this, and we're pretty much done making it. That is really how quick and easy this is. So once we got that completely stirred together and completely combined, we are going to add 3.5 pounds of chicken breast. You could also use thighs. I'm using breasts. That's what this recipe called for. And that's what we would use anyhow. My family is just not real big on chicken thighs. Why, I have no idea, but they're not. And this is 3 pounds. I've got about 3.25 pounds here. And we're just going to pour that in there, or put that in there. And I've cubed it up into little pieces. That was nice. Right onto the recipe. That's all right. You know your recipe book is well used when it's got stains on it. Get that in there, and then we are going to add some sugar. We are going to add 2 teaspoons, 10 grams of sugar. Just pour that on top of that. We are going to add 1 diced up medium onion. I'm using more onion than the recipe called for. It called for a 1/4 cup or a small onion. I'm using a medium-sized yellow onion, and I got about a 1/2 to 3/4 cup. We like onion, and onion's good for you. That's the beauty, really, of most Indian-style dishes. They're really healthy. The spices in there do so much for your body. But I've got this fine diced. All right, so that way, almost minced. Not quite minced. That is just a little too small for me. But Chris doesn't like big chunks of onion. And in this dish, we don't need onion to be the rock star. We need it to be in the background. The chicken is the rock star along with the flavors. The last thing we're going to put in here is 4 tablespoons of butter. And I've got them cut into 4 pieces. And we're just going to put those on top, just like such. And then we will put that in the trash real quick. Ooh. Grab our spatula one more time. And we're just going to get in here and give this a light stir. It doesn't have to be, huge. Because once it starts cooking, it's all going to melt together. And, you'll get the flavor of the chicken into that broth, and a little bit of fat is left on the chicken will melt in there, and that's what's going to make your sauce. That's what makes your butter chicken sauce. And to tell you, like, some of the variations, we didn't have to use chicken broth. We could have used tomato sauce. We could have gone with water. I like the idea of the chicken broth. So, anyhow, that being said, all that's left to do is put the lid on this, which I'm going to do right now, and we'll put the lid on it. We're going to put it on high, and we're going to cook it for about 4 to 5 hours. The chicken should read 165 if you want to temp it. And then once it hits that stage, it'll be ready to eat. We just got one ingredient left to put in after that, and we can't put it in until the end, and that's the heavy cream. And what that does is it adds a thickness and a richness to the sauce. It's just out of this world. You put it in the original recipe, stand over the stove and cook it recipe, and I don't think we're going to be disappointed with this. So when I come back, we'll take a look at it and see what's going on. All right, I'll see you here in just a second. So this bad boy's been cooking for about 4.5 hours, and I'm here to tell you that is just tender and delicious looking, but need to give her a good stir. And hey, I don't know if you can quite see what I got going on there, but we'll bring it in, take a look at it right there. And we're just going to give it a quick stir. And as you can see, I mean, it's not, horribly thick, but man, it looks good. So what we're going to do now, as I gently put the camera back down to where we want it to be, there we go, is I've got some heavy whipping cream here, just some heavy cream. All right, full fat, nothing healthy completely. This is probably one of the non-healthier parts of this dish, but it's not bad in moderation. Nothing's bad in moderation. And we're just going to pour this in here, but you want to kind of gently stir as you do it, so that way your cream doesn't curdle and you don't get curdled cream. Now, 2 things that'll help that. If you notice, the lid was off of this when I came back. That's because I took the lid off of it to kind of let it breathe a little bit and simmer down, lower the temperature. And I've had the cream sitting out for about 15-20 minutes. That way it's not completely, refrigerator cold. And there is that. Get that in there. But what that cream does is it gets in there with the other kids, so to speak, and adds a bit of richness. You know, brings it all together. And we're just going to let this cook for just another minute or two, right? And then once we let this cook for another minute or two, literally like maybe another 5 minutes on the warm setting, we'll come back and we'll give her a taste. All right, I'll be right back. All right, so we let that set for a few minutes and get to know each other a little better. So now we're just going to take it and we're going to let the kids yell and scream while I plate this up, because that's what my kids do. They like to interrupt at any possible moment. Get some of that sauce on there, just like such. And there we are. There is our butter chicken. And this time we're having it on jasmine rice with some naan bread. And you should see Sarah's face. She's dyeing her hair black. And she looks a hot mess at the moment. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, sorry guys, let me grab a hold of the camera here. My children's had distracted us, huh? From playing the game. There we are. All right. So now all we have to do is to give this a try. Now I've had butter chicken probably a dozen times throughout the last few years since we started dwelling into, you know, Indian cuisine, trying Eastern Asia, you know, Southeast Asia cuisine. It's Southeast Asia, or Northeast Asia, Northwest, India, at any rate. But, and I've yet to run across anything we didn't really care for. Matter of fact, I think I've done a video on everything we've ever had, but we'll see. This is the first time I've ever done a butter chicken in a crock pot. I thought that would be kind of fun and different. Plus, I've been busy all, the last 5 hours rearranging and getting stuff ready for the basement. But anyhow, I digress. Let's give this a shot. Dare I say that it's smooth like butter. Definitely digging it. Yeah, that's good. That is just amazing. It's not spicy. And that garam marsalsa is outstanding. Never fails. Like I said, I don't know the spices that are in it per se, but I know when you add it to a dish, it just makes it so rich and full. And the fresh ginger and the garlic, it just knocks it out of the park. And like I said, this is not a spicy dish. If you don't like spicy, this is right up there with you. You could make this spicy. All you have to do is add a little cayenne to it, and you would be good to go. About 1/8 of a teaspoon, or whatever your heart desires, and it would kick it up there a notch if that's your gig. Hands down. Now tonight I paired this with a jasmine rice instead of a basmati rice. Jasmine rice has a different flavor. They both kind of taste like wildflowers, but a different wildflower. And it's got a mellower taste that matches this butter chicken, in my opinion. Now, you use whatever rice you have available, but I recommend a jasmine rice. Very rarely do we eat like an instant rice anymore. Once you start eating like long grain rices, you just really, you lose your taste for the quick rices, the minute rices, the 10-minute rices. And these don't take usually a whole lot longer. But anyhow, give this a try. Let me know if you do. Sorry, I'm sweating. Let me know if you do down in the comments below, or check us out on Facebook. Yeah, at the Mr. Smith's Kitchen group. And then that way you can tell me if you tried it. Tell me if you liked it. Tell me if you didn't like it. Tell me if you did something different. Yes. I know, I see her. She's all coated in black. I know. But either way, if you liked it or you didn't. Now tomorrow, I think we're going to do a devil's food cake. That was easy for me to say, huh? And all it is It's a chocolate cake with a chocolate buttercream icing, but it's a lot moister, a lot richer in chocolate and flavor. They're absolutely amazing. There are some nuances to it that aren't in a regular chocolate cake, and we'll go through those tomorrow. So anyhow, I'm going to get this crock pot out to the table so that way we can eat, and I'll laugh at Sarah and her face being covered in black hair dye and have a good time. So, like I said, let me know if you try this. I hope to see you tomorrow for some devil's food cake. It'll be amazing, and until then, I love you. I love you very much, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Tell somebody else you love them and you love them very much. It's going to make them feel a whole lot better. It's going to make you feel better for telling them. Make some of this butter chicken. You won't go wrong, I guarantee it. All right? I'll see you tomorrow for cake. Talk to you later. Love you. Bye.